Give us a note telling us that we look okay. Well, we don't look okay, but we sound okay. You can hear us, you can see us. How about that? Tell us that you can hear us and see us. AJ Bug, we have Frank, we have
Spring Gecko said something. Waffles.
Rat is here. I have to look around. It says that we have 0 people watching right now.
0.
So it must be just us, Nanette. I hope everybody's 2. There we go. It's just a little slow. I'm a little just slow like tonight. Hi, Cassandra. How are you doing? Hope everyone's doing well tonight. What day is today? Wednesday or
Today is Thursday, thank God.
I am crazy behind on stuff. So I spent the whole day downstairs feeding crickets to the crested geckos and moving animals and checking eggs. And that was after almost a whole day yesterday of doing the same. You think, what am I spending a whole day downstairs for? It was just a lot to catch up on. How was your day?
It was busy. I was on a field trip. We went
trip. You're on a field trip like every day, aren't you?
Yeah, I wish. We went to a place that has football bowling. And it's set up across the field from each other, and you throw a football at the bowling pins.
So you're throwing a football
at bowling pins.
Doesn't the football kind of go and then go off to the
No, it
side?
depends on who's throwing the football.
Oh my gosh.
And then they had Basketball Connect 4.
Can you throw the football like this and throw it at the pins and not roll it?
Yes, you have to throw it. You can't roll it.
Oh, it wouldn't make sense to roll it, I guess.
No, it won't roll. And it was like across a gym in length. There was people on that side with the pins and people on this side with the pins. And you threw it to see who could get the most pins.
How did you do it? Did you win?
I did not play that, but I did play Connect 4 basketball.
Can you walk down to the pins and just kick them down?
If you want to cheat, yes, you may.
Okay. Well,
you would be a lot of fun on this field trip.
I'm a cheater.
And we had all-you-can-eat pizza coming out every hour. They brought out like 12 pizzas for the kids.
I'm there. Pizza, I'm there. Pizza or waffles, and I'm there. Hi, Kate. Thanks for joining us.
We had 178 kids there.
178 kids
at that field trip.
Oh my gosh! Give them you see, the thing with kids at that age is give them a ball and they will entertain themselves the whole day. Angie,
never mind.
Angie is here. Hello. I'm in the North Woods, so I can't stay on. Have a good show. Angie's probably already off, so I don't know how she's watching. Maybe on her phone if she's getting reception.
She's
I don't
probably
know.
Sitting in her car getting reception. Right. I'm trying to find you on YouTube right now, so just
okay. Go ahead and find us on YouTube. So as you all know, Intrepid Exotics is here. As you all know, we've been doing these collabs, and the basis of the collabs, for anybody new, for anybody that wants a refresher, the basis for the collabs is let me help you, you help me. Let's all help each other to develop a better YouTube society, I guess, to create better channels, to create better videos, to potentially get more views if that's your objective, to get monetized if that's your objective, to get longer watched views if that's your objective. Everybody's objective, everybody's goal is very, very, very different. So I'm going to post that from Cassandra. 11 months.
This is
Congratulations, Cassandra's puppy. 11 months old.
YouTube.
It is on YouTube. It's alive. Yep. So, Supreme Gecko.
Got it. Well,
so
I kind of figured that.
We've had, I don't know, how many sessions have we had? 5 or 6? Probably about 5. Maybe this is our 6th one. And I think it's going really, really well so far. I've enjoyed my time here. We've had a couple of reviews. And if anybody if anybody has a channel that they want us to review as a group, I've always said, submit your channel to us, and we'll take a look at your channel. We'll take a look at a video or two, and we're going to be very honest, and we're going to try to help each other, again, make better videos, have a better channel. So if you have that information, send it over. Go to the collab group on Facebook and put it in there if you wouldn't mind. Just add a message and say, I want a review, and here's my channel. And we'll go ahead and set that up for the next session. Just do it before, the day of a collab live stream. And we try to do these collab live streams every other week at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So everybody is kind of accustomed to when it's happening. Emily is here. Interesting.
Angie's still here on her phone.
I saw that. Interesting, and as best as I can today, we are moving. Listening. I'm sorry. Hate moving. Just absolutely hate it. Hate it.
We've done it once, twice.
Oh, we've done it a lot of times with your
We've done
sisters.
it twice.
With your sisters.
Oh, helping other people move? That's a mistake.
That is a mistake. I remember the time that we helped your one sister, and we got to the point where it was like 98 degrees outside, and we were literally picking up shoe racks and heaving them into the truck because we just did not care anymore.
She didn't pack. And she had to work, horrible. And we moved her.
I hope that these collabs have helped people. If it's helped anybody whatsoever, leave us a note in the chat here with a tip that you've learned during this whole process that maybe you've used or has stuck with you. Leave a comment in the chat and let us know a point that really has meant something to you as far as putting together a channel, putting together a video, or just absolutely watching videos or looking at channels. Hello, Mitz. Thank you for joining us.
The ability to gift Barney a coffee partnerships.
Interesting. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here, but you can go on to the Buy Me a Coffee for Supreme Gecko and you can support us there. You can become a member, or you can just simply buy one of my geckos some food.
She wants to gift it.
Oh, gifting it. I got you.
So if she put in a different email, would that gift it?
I don't know.
I'll have to check that out.
So yeah, hit me on Facebook with that specific question, and I'll take a look at it just to know exactly what's going on. Anybody at all, what has influenced you with these collabs? I just want to see if some of the information is sticking, if some of the information is useful. Kate says, Jay, do you guys sit around and make plans that never get done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have a whole board over here. I have a whole note-taking. I've gone away from spreadsheets. That was one of my deliverables for the first quarter, to share with our Buy Me a Coffee members this new process that I just haven't yet, because Morph Market came out with some big changes. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this, but Morph Market came out with it was purchased by Darian, I'm losing his name, Dulinger, and he's implemented some really, really big changes that I had already incorporated in this new tool that I'm using. So I had to pull some of that back and not make it as elaborate. But I'm going to come out with this tool and some training probably in the next couple of months for members of the Buy Me a Coffee. Anyways, so I'm taking tons and tons and tons of notes in there, and a lot of it gets done, but sometimes it doesn't. I have a placeholder for those things that I just don't get to. I saw something here.
I think if you put somebody else's email address in the Buy Me a Coffee, it'll go to them, and then you would just pay for it.
Frank says that I can gift waffles. Jay says, I know I missed something. Oh, I see it now. Here it is. Canva. Canvas is gold.
Yeah,
I started using.
An assignment on that.
Did you really?
For my class, my technology class, I have to do an infographic.
You have to do an infographic?
Standards of something.
Infographic. Canva is a great product. It's so easy to work with. I have the paid subscription, but you don't have to have the paid subscription. I think the paid subscription is like $100 for the year. But as many thumbnails and as many other advertisements as I'm using, it's well worth the money. It does so much. And now they've added AI, or the whole chat GPS, artificial intelligence, to take it even a step further. So Canva is a great tool. Tonight, while you're thinking about things that have helped you or that we've talked about, hopefully, the one thing that stands out, and Canva is a great tool. Thank you for mentioning that. The one thing that I want everybody to kind of keep in mind is, if you do create videos, if you create a channel and create the videos, there's 3 things that are important to get viewers and get viewers to watch your videos through the whole thing. Number 1 is the content. Nobody's going to watch your videos if your content isn't interesting or exciting or fun or emotional. It's got to be something that keeps the viewers watching, keeps you watching videos. What makes everybody, what's the one thing that everybody watches YouTube for here? What's the one thing that you're looking for? For me, it's education. I'll go to a channel and I'll watch for education. How do I use Canva? How do I do this? How do I do that? So that's the number one thing I think of above and beyond everything else, to have a good video, YouTube video, or reel or short or whatever it is. The other thing is a good description. I'm sorry, title. Description is important, but not as important as a title. So the title, I think, is so important to catch somebody's eye. Now, a lot of people will look at the thumbnail first, and that grabs their attention. But the title sometimes goes a little bit more in depth and explains what the video is all about. So I think those two kind of work hand in hand, the title and the thumbnail. Sometimes it's back and forth. Title is very, very important to just stop the person scrolling and say, hey, you want to see this. And then the title helps describe it, so that I know there's a lot of times where I'll look at the title, I'll see the thumbnail, I'll look at the title and say, yeah, maybe that's not really for me. So Angie is saying, no, Nanette, not tonight. I don't know what that's about.
Well, I asked her if she was going to the campfire, she said, and I said, are you going to have us some more? She said, no. I'm disappointed.
Matt's asking a very random question, so probably not the right format on this YouTube.
Oh, he's asking his friends in the scroll.
What's that? Go ahead.
He's just asking them in the
okay.
chat.
That's cool.
Not asking you.
Cool.
If you have a question for this
it.
live, then put it in with the word question first. That would help.
So we've talked about shorts. We've talked about the title. We've talked about thumbnails. We've talked about content and how to make better content.
We talk
about this, talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good.
See, hey, I pulled in a song.
You did. I am impressed. So
what is that?
A lot of what is one on my board?
Are you building more stands?
Oh, this is bad. She found my secret stash. She found my secret notes, folks. So I have designed here a whole rack system, 2 different options, and I'm pricing it out. And
where's that eraser?
No, don't erase it. So we've talked about a lot of these different things, and hopefully it's all added on to, again, allow us to create better videos. The next point that I want to talk about is video editing. I want to hear from you guys. Do you find it okay if you're watching a long form video? Shorts, I think, have to have some kind of editing to put in, subtitles, that have to put in little cuts, because in 30 seconds or 45 or 1 minute, you really, really, really want to keep that person's attention watching the short. But for long form video, what do you guys think about, let's say, if somebody just takes a camera, starts recording, rolling like we use film anymore.
Yeah, really.
Starts recording and doesn't really have any edits. Would you rather see that, or would you rather see a video that has clean edits, cutting out the cutting out the blank time, things like that? Or would you like a video like to see a video that has a ton of edits, something like one of the big YouTube creators, I'm going to say it again, like Mr. Beast, like Brian Barchuk of late. Some of his videos are really, really smooth cutting, and it keeps your attention and focus. Or do you guys just get tired of that? You just get tired of watching a Mr. Beast or a Brian's video and say, this is just too much production. I just don't like that. So let me know in the comments. Do you like no editing, some editing, or lots and lots of editing?
Okay, Frank says he'd watch both.
But I'd watch a very well edited video. Cool. And I'm telling you, what? So I'm telling you, some people like that. Some people like a very well edited video. Some people feel like it's more production and it's too commercially, or there's too much work involved. It's too slick. It's too clean. I don't know. It's not real, right?
Right.
If you turn into a robot. So I think Frank's joking around here, but truthfully, you know, the trend now is to for bigger creators, not me, obviously. I'm doing the video editing, and I'm doing the scripting, and I'm doing the editing, and I'm doing the publishing. And it takes a lot of time, but there's bigger creators that just create the video and then go, okay, Fiverr or a contracted agency, go ahead and edit this down and create a thumbnail and do this and make it slick and watchable. I don't do that at all. I like to do a lot of hands-on. So if you turn into a robot, I wouldn't, but I think that a lot of the bigger creators are turning into robots. So it's the same video over and over again with a different subject, a different storyline, but it's the same editing and the same kind of splicing back and forth.
Okay with that. It
says it honestly depends on how it's edited, if that makes sense. It does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I can do editing, and I can just cut out all the ums, and now I'm just like, but my hands are going to be over here, and you know, it's going to look awkward. I know exactly what you're saying. It's going to look awkward. The cuts won't match, and I know there's a lot of creators that I watch that have those kind of cuts. So all that they're doing is cutting out the blank space. I like to see a lot of B-roll, and some people don't. I was talking to Steve-O, my isopods, here the other day, and he said that he doesn't like the stock B-roll. B-roll is the secondary. So I could sit here and do a video and talk about Nephurus meliae the whole time. B-roll would be me actually showing you Nephurus meliae in an enclosure and maybe showing it eating. And
if you remember to put it in the video.
If I remember to put, I've forgotten to put some things in, like that Viper Gecko video that I did where I didn't add the actual looking at the Vipers that much. I did a little bit, but yeah, you can have things a little bit over edited. I like to have that B-roll. I don't care about using stock because it just kind of breaks the, do I say monotony? Well, for me talking it's monotony, but I like to break up that whole, you know, just not, you know, sitting here talking over and over again. So I know exactly what you mean, Kate.
Hey, Moon.
Oops, let me get this one. Laura says, I don't mind a few repeated words, but if it is ridiculous, then yes. Need a little cleanup. I like the fact that they are able to show they are real people, good and bad. So Angie has said this. I don't know if Angie's still here, but Angie has said over and over and over and over and over again to me, just stop the editing. Just be yourself. And I'm sure that she can see that I edit all that stuff out. I obviously, if I'm recording and I want Gecko to be in a certain position or an isopod to, you know, I want to turn over a piece of cork bark. I want to see all those isopods. And then, you know, they're not there and they're under a different piece, and I swear, or I drop the cork bark and I swear, I cut that stuff out.
Which happens very often.
Which happens every 20 seconds, I think, sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And when you edit, you do that all the time.
When I edit, I take all of that stuff out. So
we close the bedroom door when you edit. The office door gets shut.
Edit the videos. Really? You shut the... Wow.
Crystal can tell me when you're editing. Grandpa's not happy.
Yeah, she said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Grandpa doesn't like this. He's not happy.
So here's Frank's suggestion. Edit the videos to cut out Wally talking and only have Nanette. We can do that.
Yeah, how about I've enough of your videos.
How about pretty pictures of Nanette and just me not talking?
No.
So we're getting kind of mixed there. I think that we're seeing that people don't really like the over editing, but people like, you know, taking out a lot of the ums and the time stretches. You know, I know I do a lot of videos where I'll say something and then I just stop because I'm trying. What am I trying to do?
Trying to read the notes, or you're trying to remember what you were saying?
I'm trying to remember
you're
what I'm saying.
You're trying to read the notes that I hold like this. that
Yeah.
aren't ever big enough. I'm just kidding.
How many times have you ever held notes?
I've only had to do it once. I think that I can remember. And we ended up throwing them on the floor and just going with it.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I will stop. I overthink things. So I'll stop talking.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I'll stop talking because I'm trying to think about what I just said and does it make sense? And what am I supposed to say now in the next sentence? So I'll stop. So I have huge, huge breaks. And sometimes I'll slur my words a little bit. So I'll have to re-say a whole sentence.
Or I'm just thinking there was something else. I just lost it, so let me just keep going. I'll remember it.
So Kate, I would do that. I would show all of my errors, but that would be like 98% of the video instead of showing geckos and isopods.
You still need to do a couple blooper reels.
I do, and I have a lot of fun with the blooper reels.
Reels would be fun.
I'm going, and some of you already know this, but my favorite blooper reel of all time. My favorite blooper of all time was I was doing isopod setup. So somebody would send an isopod setup for me to review, a minute long, and I would watch it. And then for the recording, I would play it, and then I would record so I got it playing on my computer, and I'm going to use that in the editing to put that first. And then on my camera, I record myself. So I start everything up at one time, and I have my headset on and plugged into the computer that's playing the setup from somebody else, so I can hear them, but nobody can hear them because I want my voice to go on the camera. And then again, I'll slice them together and I'll stop them, and then I'll come in and I'll say something, then start up their video again, and then I'll come in and say something. So I did this whole video, and when I do a minute review, I come in and talk for maybe 2 or 3 minutes on top of that.
You never talked for 2 or 3 minutes.
On top of that, and this time I'm going through and it's 5, 6, 7 minutes into it, and I look down, and here's my cord going to the computer, not plugged in. So now I'm realizing the camera is catching me and it's catching the setup. So it's like, and blah, 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 blah. And I look down, and I go, son of a something or other. Or I said another word. I can't remember, but I had to edit that out, but then I added it as a blooper and beeped over it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Shorts should be bloopers. I know some people like the shorts. Sorry. Yes. Some people do, some people don't. I think my best blooper ever that I've never ever shown anybody was the one that we were doing the stands. We redid the metal rack, the big leopard gecko rack. We took down the wood crystal, and Gus helped us. And before that, I filmed probably about 4 or 5 minutes just talking about how we assembled the melamine stand. And for whatever reason, my tripod wasn't set right. And I was using my camera, and it was far enough away that I couldn't react quick enough, but somehow it kind of tipped over and it went all the way to the ground.
Oh, I remember that.
Right? And luckily it must have caught, the protective and didn't hurt anything. But looking back at that, it's like, oh, I can't use that as a bleeper. People will think I'm a total idiot. So there's some bloopers out there that I could probably add, but that's a great idea. Shorts should be bloopers only. I love it. I really love the shorts of the hatchlings. Those really catch my eye. Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much. And it's fun to do those. I hope that it's not too much because it's easy, because I can go in and I can, I find, the eggs, babies hatching out, and I can just do a quick video there. Editing, even the shorts, even a 30-second short for me, I use CapCut for shorts. Anything in vertical format, anything, Instagram, TikTok, shorts for YouTube, anything like that, I'm using the vertical, not the horizontal views. Even doing a short will probably take me about 15 minutes to come up with 30 seconds. It's just, I spend a lot of time in editing, probably too much. I did a video. I kind of going off on a tangent here, but I did a video recently.
No.
Yeah, if Angie's here, she'd say, yeah, we're shocked. I did a video for our members of Buy Me a Coffee that was turning their hobby into a business. And I think it ended up to be 25, 28 minutes long, which is a huge, long video, but there was just tons of information. To just record it, the recording itself was probably about 2 hours. That's just sitting in front of the camera and typing and pulling screenshots and recording, and I'd go 10 or 15 minutes and then I'd stop the camera and start it up again just to make sure I didn't lose anything. That took at least a couple, maybe even 3 hours. Now, the process to come up with the script and put all the notes together was probably about a week, so about 40 hours. The process to edit down and make sure I included everything was probably another 40 hours. 40 hours of editing, folks, for a 28-minute video that probably 30 or 40 people are watching. But I wanted it to be a certain way, and I wanted it to have exactly what I wanted, but I didn't want it to be 2 hours. I wanted to knock it down as short as I possibly could. What do you have? Frank is saying, I tend to watch time lapse of tank builds and before and after of vivarium plant growth. That's ever evolving exotics, ever evolving reptiles have great vivarium builds. If I can remember their name correctly. Go ahead, Nanette. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention.
All right, I'm paying attention.
What's this? JP says the most time it takes me to edit long videos are 8 hours. See, I'm not the only one. 8 hours is a long time to come up with a 10, 15-minute video. But, it's not just cutting out the blank spaces. It's adding the B-roll. It's putting in text, captions, things like that. There's a lot to that. So I have some videos that have a lot of text in it. They have a lot of cuts where, I'll be playing the video like this, and then all of a sudden I'll cut close like this. And what that does is it kind of draws the attention of the listener. It makes them stop and think instead of kind of just watching the video. So I do a lot of those kinds of things, and I hope that that's, catchy to the person. Laura says that is too extensive. I expect there will be work, but not 40 hours. And I think I'm to the extreme because, I'll sit down at, like 7 in the morning and I'll go until 8 at night, just editing. I'll just, stay in my room and edit because I like doing that. I really like pulling different information and trying to make the videos as educational as I possibly could, but that is super, super long, and you don't have to do that. CapCut, again, if you're doing shorts, if you're doing vertical format, short form video for TikTok or for Instagram or for Facebook Reels or for YouTube Shorts, you don't have to spend that much time. Take a video of your animals, take a video of your setups, take a video of you doing something, and throw it out there. CapCut actually you can hit a button and it puts all the captions in. Now you can play around with the size and color and format and all kinds of things, but it's that quick that you could do something like that. What else do we have here?
I got it on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you should not worry about editing it first. Once you get your channel established, then editing is important. Moon, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that that's part of the process. And we've said this time and time again. Just press record. Start getting your first 5 or 10 videos out there. After you get about 10 videos out there, then start watching other people's videos and looking at their videos with a critical eye, meaning I kind of like the way that they transition. And all the major software applications allow transitions like if I have a dead space like that, I can cut that blank space out. And if I don't move, that's pretty cool that nobody will see that cut. But if I'm talking with my hands like I always do, and then I've got my hands up here, and then I'm flipping on my phone, people are going to notice there's a significant difference between those two cuts. So you can do a transition called cross dissolve, that flows the first cut into the second cut. What other questions do we have? Well, you do that. I'm going to flip on the lights here.
You're gonna what?
Flip on the lights.
Wally, I accept your mistakes. Please don't spend that much. I can't read from here.
Irreplaceable time.
Time on your life, or anyone else for that matter.
It's a lot. I do think, I feel, here's my personal opinion. And please let me know what you think here. My opinion is that you have to do some editing. Now, if I have
Well, when you swear all the time, yes.
when you swear all the time, when you drop the phone,
Or the animals jump off
or
the
the animals are
table.
jumping, or you put your finger in and they bite your finger.
Mhm.
So you have to have some, in my opinion, you have to have some editing. There's no way anybody can start from scratch, from the beginning and have a full video. I think that you want to throw some editing in there to draw interest. So you keep the interest, I shouldn't say draw, you keep the interest of the viewer to the subject of matter. Cut out all the dead space. What I've found many times is that I'll have a subject, I have my script, or I have more likely, I have a subject that I want to talk about, and I'll have 5 or 6 bullet points. And then during recording, I don't stay online, and now I have 8 or 9 bullet points. I've talked about two or three other things because I thought that it was important to add those. When I start editing, it's like, that's so far off. That should be another video. So I have to go in and I have to edit that stuff out. And sometimes I save it and sometimes I don't. But it just kind of helps me keep everything more consolidated. I don't like videos that are more than like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes long. So, but Kate, you're right. But it's hard. It's hard. I used to, when I started my IT career, I used to program, write code. And it was hard for me to ever let a program go. The only thing that stopped me from, working on a program forever was that we had deadlines and I had to put the code in, I had to release it to production, or else I'd work on a program forever to just get it better and better and better. So anything else?
Frank.
What's Frank's? Go ahead and show that.
Love to I did show it once.
Okay.
I got to come back to the other computer.
Okay. I love to see a short of Wally waking up on his bed and doing his daily routine and then going to bed with some nice music on the side. I kind of like that, a little time lapse, and I've thought about that. I've thought about that a lot. Do people really want to see me waking up and brushing my teeth and going down and eating waffles and then grabbing coffee and then working on the computer? I think I could do something like that. A day in the life. Isn't that a Beatles song? A day in the life of Wally Eleanor Rigby? I don't know. I'm trying.
Yeah, you're trying.
What was that? I missed Laura's up on top.
Oh, we like finger bites or mother truckers or fiddlesticks.
I say son of a gun a lot. I say geez a lot. I say shoot. I say shut the front door a lot. So when we talk about editing, I can't stress enough. There's so many really, really, really good points are good applications for doing shorts or reels or TikTok, whatever you're creating. But I think the best one is CapCut. But whatever you do, find one that's highly regarded, top 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and just stick with it and learn the heck out of it. Learn the heck out of it and know how to do different things with that, like transitions, like adding subtitles, like zooming in, zooming out, cropping, things like that. But if you're doing video for long form, there's also a lot of good, inexpensive programs out there as well. There's DaVinci Resolve. There's Lightworks. There's a lot of fairly inexpensive programs as well that you can jump in. I see JP here. JP, what do you use for your editing? Moon, do you do any editing with your videos? Of any of the creators here, what do you use for your editing software? Just kind of curious. What does Laura say there?
No, I lost it. See, this could be a good experience and make a good example by saying good, bad words. See,
This is a good bad word. I like that.
we had somebody dying over your podfather. Must not know the story of the podfather.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right video. Cassandra says my daughter is notorious for swearing. Normally I don't swear.
No, you're pretty good. I was just kidding.
It's got to be, a Cubs
Pretty
game.
bad.
It's got to be either a sporting event or it has to be something that I'm working on.
I think you're really trying to get to your.
Or if I have a full tray of gecko eggs and I dump them on the floor.
Have you ever done that?
I have never.
Oh, I was going to say.
I have never, ever dumped a tray of eggs with a tray of gecko eggs. The worst thing that I've ever done with dumping and being, Butterfingers was that I had a isopod culture in a 6-quart that was up high, and I reached for it, and I normally pull them out, and as it's coming down, I grab it with my other hand before it's all the way out, and I do that all the time, and it's just instinct. But this time, as it came out, I missed or I wasn't focused, and it went choo, 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 and fell on the floor. But it went from, like this, flip, 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 and it came down and landed upside down. And the isopods were certainly shaken, not stirred, but at least they were all okay, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm going to grab this back.
I'm just putting a couple of those things you said earlier.
I use an app called Video Guru Pro. Very cool. And JP, is it easy to use? Is it difficult to learn? Had to go wash my hands.
Hey, we had chicken tonight too.
Yeah, we just had DaVinci Resolve, Lightworks. Oh, you wrote that, yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had a situation like that with your friend in the grocery store.
I had a situation with our 6-year-old son in our house when we first moved here with the F-bomb.
Yeah, a lot of F-bombs.
Multiple times.
A lot of F-bombs, and most appropriately placed in the sentences that he was using.
And
I was impressed with his use of the F-bombs as a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and he was quite shocked when I walked around the corner, and he just kind of stood there like, oh, shut up.
One of the things with applications, and again, you can spend $1 gazillion in buying an application, but it's like this, and we're going to talk about equipment for making videos in an upcoming show, but I'll break it to you right now. My thought on using equipment for doing videos is that do not ever go out and buy the most expensive lighting and the most expensive camera and the most expensive mic and go out and buy something basic. And gosh, we're going to say this 1,000 times during this project. Just flipping plus press record. See, flipping. I say flipping a lot. Just press record and start recording. What that means is don't buy big. Start small and learn your equipment, and then gradually, like, oh my gosh, my audio sounds a little bit off. Maybe I do need to start using a different mic, and go out and purchase a better mic, because audio is so important on videos. But same thing with editing software. Don't go out and spend $500 for a software package. Go out and start using, and this is what I did. I started using Lightworks, got the concept or the process of editing down, and watched videos, and here's how you can do a transition in between your video, and do this and cut like this, and I learned the process. And then I went to another not that expensive called Premiere Elements from Adobe, which was like $100, and I thought that was a lot to pay back, I don't know, 3 years ago, but it's more than paid for itself now. But the point that I'm making is you don't have to have the most expensive, because 90% of what you're going to be editing you can do in a free app, or you can do in these expensive apps. Those expensive apps are only going to do so much, and you're probably not going to get to that point in the first year or two anyway. So Hope that makes sense. Wow. I got all my equipment for $30 off of Mercury. I'm butchering the name. I agree. You know, if you want to start learning YouTube, you want to start posting videos, and I don't know if Angie does this, but I know some of you do, and it works perfect. Take your phone and start recording. Get those videos done, transfer them over to your computer, put it into CapCut. Even CapCut does long form, horizontal, and vertical format. Put it in something like CapCut, CAPCUT, and use a product like, which is free, and use a product like that and start learning the whole process. You don't need all of the big stuff. Thank you, Nanette, for that.
It was a bundle. Mercury.
I'll have to take a look at that. This is kind of interesting. So again, for editing, start small, work your way up to what you grow into. More important, we said this with the videos, content is king, but for editing, learning the process and what works well with editing is so much more important. Go watch a video or two. Maybe I don't have a script for this show whatsoever.
No, I was just looking, there's no script.
Isn't that crazy? I feel like naked. I don't have a script to run off of. Yeah, God help us if that were the case. But I guess what I'm saying is I can kind of put a couple of these notes into a document, and I'll throw that document out on the Collabs Facebook page so people can kind of get some of these links out there. And what I'll do also is, I know that there's a couple of videos that I have saved in my playlist. I have private playlists that I don't share with anybody because nobody wants, that watches my videos on geckos and isopods. They don't want to see a playlist on editing YouTube videos or shorts on YouTube videos or anything like that. So I'll go out to my playlist and I'll get a couple of the better videos on editing, and I'll post those in the notes on the Collab Facebook page as well. Frank is bringing it up. I have to dye my beard pink. Crystal has completely forgotten that, and she hasn't brought it up. So thank you very much, Frank, for
I'll make a note of that, Frank.
What do you guys... What's that?
Nothing? No comment?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, my device is going to power down.
Your device? Ouch, plug it in.
I am.
This is a tricky subject that I went into tonight because I know that we have creators here, but I know that a lot of creators do the live streams. When we talk about live streams, obviously there's like this right here. There is no editing. Baby. However, you can download. I could, as a creator, I could download this, and I have, and I just haven't published any. Cassandra, I'll get to your question in just a second. I haven't published any, but I could download this long form, live stream. It's going to be, 45 minutes or so. And I could take snippets out of this live stream and post them as shorts. I could put them snippets. Is that a swear word? Snippets?
Snippet.
Okay, just want to make sure so, we don't get demonetized or whatever. So I can take snippets and I can post them as shorts or reels or TikTok or put them anywhere, Instagram. And that's I can't think of the word. That's reusing that content for different purposes. Cassandra, has anyone edited a video for someone else? I believe I have. I want to say I have, and I can't remember the instance, unfortunately. That's
hard.
It's hard because I've thought about taking, a 20 or 30 minute video and pushing it out to somebody and saying, go ahead and edit it, and I want it down to this long, and I want these 4 keys to be really covered, and saying, have at it. Just go ahead and edit. I might do that at some point. But I have that fear that they're going to cut too much out and their style isn't my style. And that might be a good thing, But my fear is to get it back and spend, good money for an edited video that just really doesn't match, what my intent is. So for somebody else to give me their video, boy, I think it was maybe Luna Geckos. But anyways, for somebody else to give me their video and for me to edit it, they know my style, but it might not be, the right style
You
for
might
them.
miss some of their important information.
I absolutely would miss points that they would want covered in their video. That's a tough one. And also the problem is, again, I over edit and I spend way too much time on editing. I think that would be a big ask of somebody to say, hey, I've got this 30-minute video. Can you go ahead and edit it? Where, it's probably going to take me 2 or 3 hours. And that I just don't have time for because I'm editing my sticking videos. Talking chicken. Okay.
They're eating chickens.
Chicken sounds good. You would have
You just
to give.
had chicken.
I know, and it still sounds good. You would have to give them a video you are going to edit also and compare. And I've seen videos where, it's a big creator. I sent this video out for editing. I paid $30 and I paid $300. Let's see which ones. There was one that was really good. It was, I think, 3 different editors. And one he paid $5, one he paid, I want to say 30, and another that he spent 100, 150. And the $5 one was pretty obvious, but the $30 one was very close to the more expensive. I want to say $150 to $300. It was a lot of money for editing one stinking video. But the $30 editing job, I thought, and he mentioned that it was pretty close to the other more expensive one. But the $5 one was just not even probably worth $5.
Oh.
So I would have a hard time sending out, but it might be worth a try. Like Laura's saying, send it off and edit yourself and see which one you like. And if it works out, that might save a lot of time for the next one.
Yeah, but they might edit the next one wrong.
What's that?
They might not edit it the way you want it edited the next time even.
And you don't know that for sure. But I tell you what, on Fiverr, I have 3 or 4 developers that I've worked with in the past, and I'll go back to them because I know their style and I know their timelines and their priorities of getting me, what I'm asking for right back to us. What else can I tell you about editing? There's newer tools out there. When we're talking about AI, there's newer tools out there that no, you're saying no?
Is that the cheat thing?
What cheat thing?
Is that the chat
GPT? Yeah. There's tools out there that will do a lot of the editing for you, but it's going to be more generic. And I haven't tried some of them, but oh my gosh. If in the next month or so, I've got a list. In my notes, I have a list of about 30 different tools. I just haven't played enough with them to actually know if they work or don't. But more I get into this, the more I'm going to play with it. And Laura's saying no AI. No AI. Don't use AI. I've got to think. I'm going to put it bluntly here. I've got to think if you're not looking at AI, I don't care if you use it or not. If you're not looking at it, you're not knowledgeable, and you're not up to speed with AI, potentially, if it does hit and it improves to the point where a lot of people are saying that it's going to improve, it might be a little bit behind the boat with some of this. I know it's huge in schools, obviously. Should students use AI to do their homework? Sorry about that. I covered your face. And your thought is, what's your thought on AI with students?
No, because they don't, it's not their work. And we had several kids this last month that were in the office after school and having detentions to rewrite the papers that they used AI for.
Why?
Because it wasn't their work, and it was obvious because it was better quality than what they were capable of, and the teachers knew their capability, and they're cheating.
So I'll
You're
take
not
it.
learning. This could be a real debate. No.
It is. It's a big debate.
Yeah.
So my point is, I'm going to use a drastic point here. My point is, let's go back 30 years. I don't know, 35 years or so. and say just the same thing about computers. Hey, kids don't learn how to write in cursive and use the stinking computers. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm trying to illustrate a point to the very, very extreme. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But my point being is that better start keeping up with technology.
I'm
and
not
again,
saying don't keep up with technology. They can use a computer, they can learn how to research, but they need to learn how to do it and how to pull the stuff out themselves.
I agree.
Otherwise, they're copying somebody else's work, and that's plagiarism then.
I agree. Get them to a certain point and then say, okay, here's a tool, go use it. Maybe, maybe not. After this live stream, we are just going to.
No, we are not, because I have homework after this live stream.
I don't even know if I can
And
punch
I'm
in the
not
right
using
direction.
AI to do it.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
You will lose.
Yeah, I know. I will lose. Let's get that on video. Let's do a short. Just like I lost to. I can't find you. Just like I lost to waffles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in AI, but again, you're right. It can't replace the thought process. It has to be a tool that people can use to enhance whatever they're doing.
Is that gateway to or whatever it's called? GT, what is it called?
ChatGPT.
Chat. Is that AI?
That is AI.
Yeah, no.
That's part of AI. AI is so much bigger. ChatGPT just kind of takes whatever you ask it and goes off and does stuff. Right on. I couldn't have said it better. It should never, ever, ever be used as a tool to cheat. So a lot of people are using, unfortunately, and we've kind of gone off on the tangent, but a lot of creators are using ChatGPT to write their stuff, to write scripts for videos, and then do, voice over text. Take that text. Okay, give me a script telling me the cure of Nephurus meliae. And then they get ChatGPT to come up with a huge, 15 paragraph. Then they go, okay, take those 50 paragraphs and do a text to speech. So now they have a voice file. Okay, give me one of the avatars speaking, and here's the speech that they should be saying. So now you have the person talk. Is that a person talking? Maybe that's a person talking. So it's a person talking, and they're talking through the speech that you generated from ChatGPT. There's no thought there whatsoever. I keep getting these updates. There's no thought process there from the creator whatsoever. They're just looking for content, and they're looking for get it out as soon as I can, as easy as I can, and as cheap as I possibly can. So that's the problem with AI right now, is that it's not being used by some people to enhance what they're doing and proof out what they're doing. It's more used to replace their thought process, and that's bad. Frank, I do too. That whole, this is the time where we will start looking at Supreme Gecko. I hate that too. But that's becoming more and more advanced. I didn't download, but I just saw a tool yesterday or the day before where you can take your voice, record it, just like Siri knows my voice. You can record it, and then the AI text to speech can then read off that text in your voice. Crazy. So I guess I'm done creating stuff. I'm just going to use ChatGPT to do all this stuff.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Ever. Seriously though, does anybody else have a question about doing any video editing? Any points that they'd like to bring up? I know that this was a little bit of a shorter session tonight, but we could get into the techniques of video editing. But I think that, again, this is probably something that we would want to have a different session to dig down into the details of video editing. I just wanted to bring up some of the key points here in that my feeling, and again, thick skin here, folks. If you don't agree with this, keep an open mind. Hopefully nobody's judgmental here. I just want everybody to come with ideas, and everybody to have an open mind and listen and say, yeah, I can use that stuff, or yeah, I'm not going to do that. And that's fine either way. But, in my mind, I think that editing is important. I certainly had the comment that editing goes so far before it becomes a burden
I'm
and
back.
a kind of a lifestyle changing thing where it takes so much of your time. You're not doing your regular tasks and getting things done that you should be doing.
Skeeters are getting there.
Oh, Angie, I can't imagine. Angie, we saw a deer out in our backyard. Our dog, or my son's dog,
Our dog, no.
got within 20 feet of it and it never moved. In fact, dog leash on a run, saw the deer about halfway out running in the yard, stopped, went right to the deer as far as it could, probably about 20, 25 feet away. Bark, 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 bark. The deer just kind of went, whatever. Deer sat there and went, yeah, bring it on. So deer sat there, took 2 steps towards the dog. I got a little worried and I ran out to the dog to get the dog. Like I'm gonna go, oh dear, let's go, baby. I would have probably kicked at it and screamed and probably gotten sworn and gotten hooked to death. I don't know. But deer stood there the whole time. Dog went potty finally and brought it back in the house, let it off his leash, and I looked back and the deer was jumping through our neighbor's yard like, okay, I'm out now.
I'm wondering if there was a fawn out there.
If there's a fawn, well, I'm thinking, I don't know the timing here, but I think that now is the time that they're probably. I think the does are probably carrying. I almost said grabbing. That's not
Gravid.
Okay.
Those are not gravid.
Laura, since the chat is open, can we talk about the gifting for a moment? So anybody watching the live stream for the video editing, thank you very much for joining tonight. This has been, a touch. We just kind of swiped the top layer off on video editing, and we'll dig down later. And I think that we'll probably get into some very, very specific details about editing in a future collab live stream. If you'd like to jump out because that was the reason you came, again, thank you very much. But please stay on if you want to talk about some other stuff. We'll keep the mic open. We'll keep the live stream going for just a few more minutes.
I'm not that busy.
If you need to go to it, okay. If you need to go,
it's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
That is only one busy we know.
That's pretty much it.
No, I don't have to go that bad. I don't really.
It was a reindeer from Waffles, the elf crew. Okay, so we're talking about gifting.
Angie saw a baby.
Oh, very cool. Angie always sees deer and babies and
we've had them in our yard. Oh, we
honey
had a raccoon at
badgers
school the other day.
and antelope and deer and hippos up north in Wisconsin. So Laura, talk to me about what your thoughts are about gifting. So we're kind of all clear on exactly what your question is. Because I'm probably foggy.
I think she's talking about gifting and you're buying me a coffee. I think. And I went out there and I think, just a second.
So Laura's saying on another live, we are able to gift memberships. Do you mean on one of my lives,
No.
you were able to gift members? And when you say gift members, do you mean members of the Buy Me a Coffee? Or are you talking about Patreons? I'll go ahead and kind of throw it out there, like Russ Wilson from Cormax Pets. You can do a super chat or send him money through a live stream. Is that what you're talking about? I think maybe that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think she can go on, and when you go on, you pick the level, you hit join.
Yeah.
You can put in an email when it asks you for the email. Then when you hit the join per month, you're going to get card information. So you put your card information, but it would go to that other person, I believe.
Because you use that
their
other
email.
person's
Yeah.
email.
Yeah. I believe that's how it would work.
I think that's as easy as it might be. Yeah. So it wouldn't care, who signed up
for it.
compared to who paid for it.
Right.
Okay.
And then there's even a spot that you can put a comment in there when you put it in. So you could put in there, hey, Wally, this is a gift from Nanette, and have fun watching or have fun with this membership or whatever. And then that person will get an email and it'll tell them. And then I think that's how it would work. I could test it and send you a membership. But.
Okay, Laura's saying, no, dollar sign in the lives on our chat.
Oh,
Like in this chat right here, we don't have that.
No.
But do you mean you saw somebody else's live stream and you could give them money? Is that what you mean, Laura? Just to make sure. If it is, I have an answer to that. That is funny. I can imagine.
We had teachers running from the raccoon.
You had so you guys saw.
We have a raccoon that's a friendly little raccoon.
Oh, cute little bunny rabbit
he's not
raccoon.
A cute little bunny when he climbs in and out of the garbage can outside our classroom window.
No.
And the teachers don't like him.
Raccoons
they're mean.
Furry Tasmanian devils.
Well, and they shouldn't be out in the daylight like that.
So Laura is saying yes. So in other so I'll kind of explain where we sit with donations on YouTube. What's that?
Moon just said something too on memberships. If
Okay.
membership are on.
If your membership's on. So we don't have memberships on for YouTube. We don't have super chats on for YouTube. We don't have donations on for YouTube. We don't do that specifically because we have Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee offers me the ability to give other things like Excel spreadsheets, and I can post videos, I can post posts and explain things, and I can do so much more than the YouTube membership allows me to do. YouTube memberships are things like different icons next to names and special videos. Well, I can do special videos like we have, like the Hobby to Business. I just made it private and then share the link on our Buy Me a Coffee member to our Buy Me a Coffee member. So I can do things like that with the Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee also doesn't charge anything for membership for donations. We have our memberships, we have our support there as well. It doesn't charge anything for that support at all. Nothing comes out of, if you send me $1, I get $1 through YouTube. I can't remember if it's 60% that you get and 40% YouTube takes. It's not the reason that we don't use YouTube memberships and, donations and support and things like that. It's just that we can do so much more with Buy Me a Coffee. I like having the page. I like having the community where we can talk back and forth. And I can do so much more with the Buy Me a Coffee. That's worked out great. I've had a number of people already sending me messages on how do you do this, how do you do that. Buy Me a Coffee contacted me and said, hey, can you do a video on how Buy Me a Coffee is doing for you? Because we see, you doing it. I don't know if they use the word better, but you do it. You take more advantage of different features than a lot of people do. So that's in a long, drawn-out kind of way. Sorry, I'm sure that there was an easier answer there, but that's why we do Buy Me a Coffee and not the super. So you'll never see a super chat, or at least right now, you're never going to see a super chat on any of our lives, simply because you guys have supported the Buy Me a Coffee program so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I want to do more and more and more benefits, discounts and for animals and supplies. And, I've got a board of ideas here and notes on Buy Me a Coffee stuff. So hopefully that helped. If that makes sense, let me know. If that doesn't make sense, if it's confusing or you don't agree with it, let me know. And we'll stay online for just a couple of minutes here. I love some of these comments.
She fed a hummingbird.
That is, yes. I heard her, or I saw her posting on Facebook about that. That's super cool. I love the videos where people are holding, a feeder or whatever, and then the hummingbirds are coming over and eating it. That's outstanding. Laura, if you have any other questions about that, go ahead and message me on Facebook and we can kind of talk through that. If you have any other questions. So hopeful, thank you. The tech stuff is not my thing. Learning every day. I'm learning every doggone day as well. I think we all should be learning. If you're not, you're stagnant and you're just not growing as a person. I think we all do, though. I think we all learn in different things differently, and we move forward as much as we possibly can. I'm not that technical at all either. Nanette will tell you that, if it's an application thing, if it's software, I'm all over it, and I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can about the software end of things, because that's what I did for a job. If it's hardware, if it means that I have to check to see if my display screen is plugged in, I'm lost.
You're yelling.
Hello, HP. Can you tell me why my display isn't working?
You're looking for somebody to come and fix that.
Oh, plug it in. Hold on. Yeah, no, it's not plugged in. Yeah, okay. Let me do that. Let me try that, and let's see if that works. That's how technical from a hardware standpoint I am.
Yeah, you're bad.
I am bad.
You're bad.
And on that note, let's see if technically I can go ahead and end the broadcast here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. This is fun to just kind of chat, but hopefully this whole collab project, people are learning. I greatly appreciate everybody that's not a creator that's coming on these episodes and sharing and providing great insight. You're using YouTube, you're using it right now, so thank you very much.
What's the next topic?
I don't have a topic yet. We'll probably go through the list. I provide a list in every one of these live streams of the high ends. There's only like one or two left. And then I think we're going to deep dive into something like shorts or something like content. And we'll just really, dive down deep. And that's where it's going to be fun. And we're going to spend a lot of time on one subject and really get into the details.
Okay.
Bunion cream. Right on.
Okay. No.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a good evening.